It has been a long time since I've made a YouTube video. Why is that? I got married and planning a wedding is fucking stressful. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word on YouTube. Planning a wedding is stressful and life gets in the way, and the studio has been open. I've been doing an online program and I've been just teaching Pilates all over the place, online, virtually, and in the studio. And I have not had a pandemic shutting me down and a ton of time to allow me to create. So, it's been a while. I had that realization and I decided I would make another video. And I am wearing a ridiculous full black jumpsuit today, and I thought, why not blend it into my mat and make it really challenging to see? So let me make this video. We're going to do a 25-minute full body workout. I have a fitball and I have some weights nearby. If you don't have props, they are totally optional, but if you are looking to get them, I've got some links below. Please subscribe to the channel if you want to find out when I post my newest workouts, and hopefully it becomes more of a regular thing than it has been in the past stretch. So anyway, I'm setting my timer and we're going to get started. All right, we are going to lay down on our backs. We are going to put that fit ball in between the knees, bending the knees, planting the feet. If you don't have a fit ball, that's okay. Your feet are just hip bone distance apart. We'll start with some breathing. Nice big inhale in through the nose and exhaling out through the mouth. So we're working on our lateral breathing here. It's an inhale in through the nose, drawing to the sides of the ribs into the upper back, and exhale, sinking the navel to spine. Now, if you want to place your hands on your rib cage to get that feeling of breathing into your rib cage, think of breathing into your hands, and then as you exhale, you'll feel the rib cage knit together. You want to make sure that you're not letting the belly puff out. That lateral breathing keeps that navel to spine connection here. You can lengthen the arms by the side. Take a few more breaths. Nice big inhales in through the nose. Exhaling out through the mouth. You're emptying out all that breath. We're going to add movement. To inhale, tuck the pelvis, lift the hips up to the ceiling. Exhale, the arms draw up and over. We reach back as we round down one vertebrae at a time. Lengthen the tailbone down. Exhale, the arms draw back down by the side. Again, inhale, hips lift up. Exhale, the arms go up and over in line with the ears. Keep the arms reaching back as we slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Exhale, the arms draw down by the side. Again, inhale, hips lift. Squeeze the ball, squeeze the glutes. Make sure your back is nice and long. You're not arching. Arms reach back. Slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. We exhale and draw the arms down. If we have that ball, it helps us to keep our knees tracking in line. If you don't have that ball, just make sure your knees are not drawing in towards one another or buckling out. Arms draw by the side, and then from here we can take the ball out from between the knees and put it under the sacrum. If you don't have a ball, you're just laying down on the mat. Arms by the side. And we lift our legs up to tabletop. We want our knees right over the hips and the ankles right in line with the knees. We're going to hinge from the hip to lower that right leg forward. Tap the mat, exhale, draw up. And left side hinge to lower, tap, and exhale, lift. We want to make sure the bend of the knee doesn't change. It's a hinge from the hip. We're using the low abs to lift back up and alternating left side. So we can continue alternating right side and then left. And if you would like more of a challenge, we can do a double leg lower and lift, making sure that your back doesn't strain. You might hover over the mat if you can't make it all the way down. Hinge to lower and lift back up. Hinge to lower and lift. Making sure that as you're doing this work, you're keeping that navel to spine connection. And if you are feeling any strain, you can go back to that single leg, alternating right and then left, but we just want to make sure that we are not letting that back strain. Let's plant both feet down, take that ball out from underneath, and slowly round our way back down. Place that ball back in between the knees, and we want our feet hip bone distance apart. If you don't have that ball, slide your feet forward a little bit, and we're going to do some roll-ups. You can walk the hands up the backs of the legs. If you need a little help, chin towards chest, we round up all the way. Sit tall, and then rock back onto your sacrum. Find your scoop, and slowly round your way down. Shoulders touch, then the neck and head draw back. Again, feet are planted, chin towards chest, round your way up, sitting up all the way. Find that length in your spine, squeeze the glutes, and then rock back. Find that scoop, relax your shoulders, and slowly round your way down. Neck and head draw back. Again, feet are planted, chin towards chest. Round your way up. We're gonna sit up nice and tall, and then rock back, relax your shoulders, find that scoop, and slowly round your way down. Now, if you're having trouble, walk your hands up the backs of the legs and all the way back down. Your goal is to keep your feet planted, but that's a challenge. If your feet are lifting, that's okay. We're gonna rock back onto our sacrum and hold our C curve here for a moment and take it really slow. Rock back 2 inches, rock back 2 more, take it even slower, relax your shoulders, round back a little more. Finally, we round down, shoulders touch, neck and head draw back, and we can go ahead and take that ball out from between the knees. Lengthen your left leg on the mat, your right leg up to the ceiling, heel towards the midline. We go across the body, back in line with the hip, and we lift for a half circle. We want to make sure our hips stay anchored. We draw over to the left, down towards the left ankle, back in line with the right hip, and we lift. We do 5 in this direction. I want you to visualize reaching long out of the hip, and if you feel your hip pinching, you can always make that circle smaller. After our 5th one, we pause, same direction, but we reverse, straight down, go across the body and back up. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, across the body to lift. Heel towards the midline, toe facing out. Use that navel to spine connection to draw back up. Relax your shoulders, press the arms into the mat. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, across the body and back up. Inhale to lower all the way down, and then we lift that left leg up. We want to find that external rotation. Our left hip is anchored. We go across the body, back in line with the hip, and we lift. Reaching long out of the hip socket, sink that navel to spine to lift. Keeping that left hip anchored down, sink that navel point back to lift. Make sure your right leg is long in line with your hip socket. Again, inhale across the body, back in line with the hip, and we lift. 5 in each direction. We lower straight down. Now we go across the body and back up. Inhale, lengthen and lower. Exhale, sink the navel to spine to lift. Reach long out of the hip socket, draw across your body and back up. We've got 2 more. And last one, lower down forward, go across the body and back up. And then we're gonna lower our left leg down, and we can bend the knees and plant the feet. Chin towards chest. We'll round our way all the way up to sitting. And then from here, we are going to grab our hand weights, and we can take our fitball, place it between the knees, and round down all the way with the weights in our hands. Lengthen the arms directly over your shoulders, draw the shoulders down, palms facing in, and we're gonna bend the elbows, drawing the hands towards your ears, and lengthen the arms up. Bend those elbows down, hands go down to your ears, and we lengthen. So we're focusing on getting into our triceps. And as we're laying on the back, we want to get that back nice and flush on the mat. Rib cage is knit. We have a navel to spine connection. I'm going to keep our back nice and flush as we continue to work the arms through this series. So we are feeling our abs working even though we're laying down. Flip the palms to face forward. Let the weights touch. Bend your elbows out to the side and lengthen the arms up over your chest. Elbows are going to bend and extend. Think of squeezing those scapula together and lengthening the arms up. Keeping a little gentle squeeze on that ball. Feet are planted. Relax the shoulders. Bend and extend. Keep that navel to spine connection. As we're doing this work, again, that tailbone's heavy. We have that abdominal connection. Bend those elbows wide and lengthen those arms up. As we're here, we're going to go ahead and flip the palms forward now, and we're going to open those arms out to the side in a rounded shape and draw together. Palms towards one another. So we are like hugging around a giant beach ball over the chest. Arms are opening up wide, and then we reach over the chest in a rounded shape. That movement's coming from the shoulders. We are continuing to keep our elbows nice and rounded. Keep that navel to spine connection. Get that squeeze of the scapula and lengthen those arms up. Open those arms wide and round over the chest. Breathing through our work. Arms open and close. We flip the palms forward. Feet are planted. We round up through the chest as the arms sweep straight down. And we lower the chest as the arms float back up. Again, chin towards chest, rounding up. Gaze at your navel point and lower back down. Keep those shoulders gliding down and back. Engage the lats at the base of the shoulder blades. Again, arms are going to sweep down, hover over the mat, and we lower back down. Or for a challenge, keep your chest lifted and continue to sweep the arms up over the shoulders and down past the hips. You can find whichever version is the most challenging and still achievable to you. Arms sweep down and float back up. Breathing through it, inhale to sweep the arms down, and exhale. We can lower the head down as the arms float back up. And then from here, we're going to go ahead and lengthen the arms and round our way all the way up. We can take that ball out from between the knees, set the weights and the ball aside, and then we will slowly round back down to laying down. We're going to get into our hundreds next. So start with the legs in tabletop. We can stay here or extend the legs long. Nice big inhale. Exhale, we round up to gaze at the navel point. Option for long legs. We pump the arms. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. If your legs are long, heels together, toes apart. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Exhale, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sink that navel to spine. As we are here, we're pumping the arms from the base of the shoulder blades, so we're using our lats. If you want more of a challenge with long legs, you can lower them further down. Make sure your low back doesn't strain. If long legs is too much, pull them back to tabletop. Sink that navel point back deeper and deeper. Keep that chest lifted and pull the legs to tabletop. Lower the neck and head down. Go ahead and hug your knees. We can rock side to side. Plant your feet, chin towards chest. We're going to round our way all the way up to sitting and find our position for rolling like a ball. Heels together, knees are as wide as the shoulders. Grab your ankles, rock back onto your sacrum, round yourself into a tight ball, and then we round back to the base of the shoulder blades, scoop the abs in and up to draw back up. Again, we can rock back and scoop to draw back up. As we're here, you want to keep your shoulders close to your knees or your knees close to the shoulders, your heels close to the touch. Stay in this tight ball. As you are doing this work, if you can't quite get up, you can open up through the chest to find your balance and go back to that rounded shape. Or you can stay at the top and just rock back to vertebrae and come back up to find your balance, to find your abdominal connection. Make sure you're not going up into the neck. And we can go ahead and round up all the way and sit up. We're going to grab our weights once again, and we will sit with our legs crisscross. We're going to get into a little bit more arm work. So our arms are going to be rounded out to the side for our hug-a-tree. Shoulders are relaxed. We want to find as much space between the base of the rib cage and the hips. And we're going to reach those arms forward in front of us as we are doing this work. Our elbows are lower than our shoulders. Our wrists are lower than the elbows. And then we open up. Exhale to draw in. We inhale to open. And we want to continue to sit tall. Find length between the base of the rib cage and the hips, meaning our back is nice and long. We're not arching the low back. Relaxing the shoulders down, sitting nice and tall. The crown of the head reaches to the ceiling. The sit bones are slightly drawing together, and we're going to take it overhead. Arms are rounding out to the side, and like hugging a moon, we reach up and overhead. So as we're doing this work, the arms are still staying rounded. The arms flow open, and we go overhead. Relax the shoulders, even though we're reaching up and over. We want to keep the rib cage knit. We've got that nice long line in our body. We reach overhead, and then we float open. Exhale to reach overhead. Inhale to open up. Relax the shoulders, sit tall. Reaching up and over. Float those arms out to the side, and then isometric hold. We're going to hold those arms wide and out to the side. Breathing here. And those little light weights are going to start to feel pretty heavy here. Nice big inhale and exhale. Relax the shoulders. Big inhale and exhale. And we can go ahead and relax the arms. We're going to take one single weight, and we are going to place it nearby in the direction that we're laying. And we're going to lay on our side. Line your back up with the edge of the mat. We want to have our hips in line with the edge and the shoulders in line with the edge, and our legs are drawn to tabletop in front of us. Our knees are in front of the hips, ankles are under the knees. Float your top leg up, and we lower it down to hip height. We want to open up through the ankle, shin, and knee in that tabletop bend, and we lower to hip height. For our hydrants, we lift, squeeze the glutes, and we lower to hover. Making sure your knee doesn't twist out or your ankle doesn't get higher. We want to keep that nice parallel leg, and that's a hinge from the hip to get into that gluteus medius. We lift and we lower. Lift, squeeze the glutes, lower to a hover. Breathing through it, keep that navel to spine connection. Make sure you're not rolling too far back. We lift and we lower to our hover. And as we're here, we want to make sure we have a navel to spine connection. We're going to draw little circles directly in front of our hip. Little circles the size of a donut. Breathing through it. Let's reverse the direction of our circles. Little circles, squeezing those glutes. Donut-sized circles. Breathing through our work. and we can lower the leg down. Heels together, we open our knee up for our clams. Lift that knee and lower. Lift, squeeze the glutes, lower, squeeze the thighs. Again, open and close. Lift and lower, squeeze the cheeks and lower back down. Breathing through it, keep those heels together as you're here. Don't let yourself rock back off of your stabilizing hip. At the top, lift, 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 squeeze those glutes, little pulses up, and we lower down. Float your leg to hip bone height, flex the foot, kick the leg long in line with your body, and bend it forward to tabletop. We're going to get that little lift and squeeze and lift under our glute. We kick that leg long, finding that navel to spine connection. We have a little lift under our bottom oblique as well. Drive through your heel, kick that leg long, and bend that leg back. Keeping that leg at hip height the entire time. Kick it long and bend it back. Again, kick that leg long and bend it back. We're going to lengthen the leg, point the foot, pick up that weight with your top arm. Your arm goes to the ceiling, and we sweep the arm down by our side and float back up, pause over your shoulder. If you are feeling like you need a rest for that leg, you can just rest it in tabletop. We're working the glute, keeping it hovering. The arm sweeps down by our side. Make sure you're not going behind your shoulder, and it floats back up. Pause directly over the shoulder. You don't want to go above it or behind it. The arm sweeps down and floats back up. We might feel that oblique firing up as well. And as we're doing this work, you want to keep that shoulder relaxed. Pause over the shoulder, sweep it back down by your side, flip the palm to face back, and the arm is going to float forward in line with your shoulder and back in line with your hip. The arm goes directly in front of you, and then we sweep it back. You want to get that connection into your oblique. The arm drifts forward, and we sweep back. We get into the tricep. As we're here, I want you to keep that leg hovering at hip height if you have it long, or rest it all the way down. We're nowhere in between. The arm floats forward and we sweep it back. Inhale it forward, exhale, sweep it back. Bend the elbow to a 90-degree bend now and lengthen it back, keeping your bicep tucked to the side. Try your best not to let that bicep move back and forth. It's just the forearm moving, bending your arm to 90 degrees and lengthening it back, bending and extending, getting that squeeze through the back of your arm. Breathing through your work, bend and extend that arm, keeping that top leg floating here. Bend that arm and extend it. Feel that tricep, feel your glute. Relax the leg, relax the arm, and go ahead and punch out that glute if you need a little break. Set that weight out of your way. Make your way to laying on your stomach. Hands go underneath your forehead. Legs go long. Float the legs up, and we click those heels together. Squeeze those glutes. Click those heels together, in and out. Click, 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 click. Breathing here, press your pelvis into the mat, using that navel to spine connection. And then we can go ahead and lift up, and we are going to, of course, switch sides. So take your weight with you as you lay on the other side. We want to line the back up with the edge of the mat. Hips are stacked, your shoulders are stacked. We draw the legs together in front of you into tabletop. Knees are in line with the hips, ankles are in line with the knees. Top hand is your kickstand. Float your top leg up to hip height. Lift the leg to the ceiling and lower to hover at hip height. Inhale, lift, squeeze the glutes, and lower to our hover. Breathing through our work, making sure that you are not rocking back off of your stabilizing hip. We lift, squeeze the glutes, we lower to hover at hip height. Inhale, lift, and exhale to lower. And we want to make sure you are keeping your navel to spine connection as you're laying on your side. Your ankle, shin, and knee are staying in a straight line. That ankle is not getting higher than your knee. We don't want to tweak that knee. It is a challenge to keep that knee and that shin and that ankle parallel, but we get into that gluteus medius more. We lift, squeeze the glutes, we lower to hover. Draw donut-sized circles directly in front of your knee, breathing through our work. Nice big inhales and exhales. Go ahead and reverse the direction now. Squeeze those glutes, donut-sized circles, breathing through that work. Continuing along, we lower down, heels together, open the knee for clams and lower. Just a hinge from the hip and the heel now. That knee lifts and lower. We squeeze the glutes at the top. We squeeze the inner thighs at the bottom. You should feel that outer thigh for the lift, the inner thigh for your lower. So we're working above the knee. We're not tweaking that knee. We're not twisting it out. We're strengthening around the joints here. Lift, squeeze the glutes. We lower and we lift. One more time for little pulses. Up, 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 up. Squeeze those cheeks. Lower it down. Float your leg to hip height, flex the foot, kick that leg long, and bend it back to tabletop. Drive through your heel, kick it long, and bend it back. As you are here, I want you to make sure your leg stays at hip height. You get that squeeze and lift under your cheek. Kick your leg long and go ahead and bend it back. As you are doing your work, make sure your leg stays at hip height. It's not dropping lower or getting higher. We drive through that heel to connect into our hamstring. You want to get that lift under your glute. Point the foot, pick up that weight, lift your arm to the ceiling and sweep it down by the side and float it back up. Pause over your shoulder. Arm sweeps down by your side and float it back up. Remember, you can rest that leg down in tabletop, or you can keep it hovering at hip height to work your glute more. We are nowhere in between. I don't want you to have your leg too low in that hover. I want you to sweep that arm into your side, connecting into that top oblique a bit. Your arm does not go behind or too high above the shoulder. We stay in the line with your body. So we are not pinching anything that doesn't need to be pinched. We're going to flip the palm back, sweep the arm forward and back in line with your hip. Sweep that arm at shoulder height and sweep it back in line with your hip. Keep that leg hovering. We want to get that connection into our tricep. We're still working on our oblique. We want to keep this movement going, but take it slow. Relax the shoulder. Arm drifts forward and we sweep it back, breathing through our work. And arm goes forward and back in line with the hip. Inhale it forward, exhale it back, tuck your elbow into the side, bend your arm to a 90-degree bend and lengthen it back. Bend and extend that arm. As you are doing your work, your bicep is tucked into the side. We get that squeeze through the back of the arm. Bending and extending. And we keep that leg hovering at hip height, or it's in tabletop all the way, nothing in between. Bend that arm to a 90-degree bend and lengthen it back. And we can rest the leg, rest the arm, set that weight out of your way. And we're going to lift ourselves up, and we are going to make our way to setting up for a plank. Long arms or down on the elbows. You can be on your knees or long legs. But we want to find a nice lengthened position. Your upper back is filled up. You're looking straight down at the mat, so your neck is nice and long. You have a navel to spine connection. We're squeezing the glutes a bit. If you're on your knees, make sure your butt's not sticking up to the air. You are keeping that nice long line from the knees up to the hands or the elbows. And we can go ahead and sit back on our heels and reach those arms long. We can stretch the arms behind us for a nice shoulder stretch if you need it. Breathing through our work and rounding up one vertebrae at a time. Our neck and head are the last thing to come up. We're going to make our way to sitting now with long legs. Our feet are flexed, hip bone distance apart. Lengthen the arms in front of you. Scoop the abs in and up as you reach the rib cage up and over the hips to forward fold. And we exhale, restack, grow taller. Again, inhale, scoop those abs in and up, forward fold. And exhale, restack, sit tall. As you are here, I want you to make sure that you are keeping your feet flexed and you're not collapsing onto yourself. You're reaching as far as you can, getting that thoracic spine stretched out, and you feel your hamstrings and you feel your abs. Scoop those abs in and up, and then we restack to sit up nice and tall. Feet are the width of the mat, arms out to the side, twist from above the hips to the right, forward fold, look at your back palm, which is internally rotated. We untwist, go back to center. Twist to the left, forward fold, and untwist, come back to center. The twist comes from above the hips, making sure that we are rotating the spine and we're not just pulling back on the hip. And we twist to the left, forward fold, untwist back to center. Twisting to the right, the left pinky goes to the right pinky toe. We're going to saw it off, little pulses, and we go to the left and we get that pulse forward like we're sawing off our pinky toe. Again, we twist to the right, look at your back palm, flip it up to the ceiling. We untwist to center, we twist to the left, forward fold, get that little sawing movement, look at your back palm. And we go one more to the right, get that sawing pulse. We untwist back to center, growing taller. We twist to the left, grow taller in between. And we relax the arms. From here, we can go ahead and make our way to laying on our back. We're going to pull our right knee into the chest, outside hand to the ankle, inside hand to the knee. Left leg goes long, and we switch legs. Inhale, right knee pulls in for our series of 5. We exhale, switch. Elbows are wide and lifted. Engage the lats at the base of shoulder blades. Pull each leg tightly in as the other leg goes long. Inhale with the right leg. We exhale, switch to the left. Inhale, that right knee pulls in. We exhale, pull that left knee in. Pull 2 knees in, hands around the shins. Chest stays lifted, arms reach back, legs go forward. We hug the knees in. Inhale, reach long. Exhale, circle the arms around to hug the knees in. Inhale, reach. Keep your gaze at your navel point. Exhale, draw back in. If your neck is straining, just rest your head down instead. And we sink that navel spine and draw back in. Arms reach back, legs go forward. Hug the knees in. Right leg to the ceiling, left leg forward, shoulders relax down. And we switch to the left leg. 2 long legs like scissors. Inhale with the right, exhale with the left. Inhale, right leg to the ceiling, exhale, switch. Chest is lifted up. We reach as high towards our ankles as we can, or you can keep the head down and just hover the arms by your side. And 2 legs to the ceiling, hands behind the neck and head. 2 legs will lower. We exhale, draw back up. Inhale, lengthen and lower, and we exhale to lift. As you're doing this work, I want you to make sure you don't lower quite so low down that your back arches. We reach long out of the hips, and we sink the navel to spine to lift. Coming up all the way to 90 degrees. We inhale, lower forward. We lift all the way to 90. Right knee pulls in. We twist up and over as the left leg drops forward, and then we switch. For our crisscross, left shoulder to the right knee, right shoulder to the left knee. We twist from above the hips. If I'm going too fast for you, pause it and then take a break and go back into it. We go up and over to the left. We go up and over to the right. Breathe and hold and breathe. And we switch to the left. Breathe and hold and breathe. And we relax down. We can go ahead and take a second and relax. We are going to do one more thing. We're going to plant those feet, chin towards chest, round your way up. And once you are seated up to the top, go ahead and flip around, lay on your stomach. Hands go under the shoulders, legs go long, heels together, toes apart, forehead is flat on the mat. Press your pelvis into the mat. We inhale, lift for our cobra lift, and we exhale to lower. Again, inhale, pressing the pelvis into the mat. We lift just the chest, don't use the arms. And we exhale, lower. Your low back extension is just from the lower back extensors. We are not using the arms to push you up. Nice long neck. Make sure you're not lifting your head and changing your neck to look even further ahead. And we lower back down. Again, we inhale, lift, press the pelvis into the mat, hover the hands. Exhale, lower. And we can go ahead and press back, take a child's pose. We'll sit back on our heels and reach the arms long. Little forward flexion, big stretch. Nice big inhale and exhale. And we're going to round our way up. We'll make our way to standing up and take a full-on roll down after this, or you can just hang in your child's pose if you prefer that. But if you're ready for a roll down, you'll stand up, heels together, toes apart, chin towards chest, and slowly round down one vertebrae at a time. Let your head go heavy. And we're going to shake the head no, and nod the head yes, and relax the neck and slowly round up one vertebrae at a time. Your neck and head are the last thing to come up. That is it. That is our 25-minute full body workout. Always remember that Pilates is meant to be ever challenging. So if you ever need a modification, don't feel like you are not getting work in just because you need a modification. And if you need a challenge, we've always got places to go. So great job, team. Thank you for joining me today. Please don't forget to click subscribe. Give me a thumbs up if you like this workout. Feel free to leave a comment, and I will see you guys next time.